Hello, everybody. It's Michael Hollands once again for Sound of the Movies. Today, I have the pleasure to once again be joined by the legendary Diane Warren, whose contributions to the world of music have been invaluable. On today's episode, we will discuss her work on the film The Life Ahead, for which she wrote the beautiful song EOC, which was performed by the great Laura Pausini. It is my pleasure to welcome again Diane Warren.
Hey, Michael. Good to see you again, or hear you, because I don't see you, but good to hear you again.
It's great to talk to you again, and thank you very much for taking the time out of your schedule for me. Let me congratulate you again on winning the Golden Globe
Thank you.
for this great song, and I sincerely hope this will improve your chances to finally win the Academy Awards. You certainly deserve it.
I hope that too. Thank you so much. Yeah, it'd be great. This is number 12, and 33 years of nominations, actually.
Yes, the first nomination in 1988, a long time ago, and it is indeed nomination number 12, so I will certainly keep my fingers crossed. It's about time. Diane, as I understand, you specifically asked to work on this film as it was still being shot.
I read the script even before they started shooting, and I had heard about the movie, and I called Eduardo Ponti, the director, and asked if I could read the script. First of all, I asked if he was interested in me, maybe writing a song for it, and he was. And he sent me the script, and I loved it so much. I was so moved by the story. It's such a beautiful story, and I sat down and I wrote my song "Scene." In English, the song's called "Scene," and later, Laura. The movie's in Italian, so having a song in English didn't really fit. So I figured that Laura Pausini and I had talked about working together years ago, and we never did. But I thought, you know what? You have Sofia Loren in a movie, the greatest actress in Italy, like who's the greatest singer in Italy, and Laura Pausini, that was the voice. And I reached out, and she loved the song. She, worked on the Italian lyrics, and here we are. So it's exciting.
Great. Diane, which part of the script and the story attracted you the most, and why?
Everything about the story I loved. I just loved the relationship between Matt and Rosa and Momo, and just how they're kind of on the outside of society. She's a former prostitute, she's an older woman taking care of these young prostitutes' kids, and he's the street kid criminal, and their lives are thrown together, and the world doesn't really see them for who they are, and they don't even see each other for who they are. They're these beautiful people inside, and through, as the story progresses, they do see each other, and there's such a message in this that we create our own family, and we see each other when we see each other with our hearts. And I think that's what this movie was about. And that's why I wrote the song "Seen," because it was all about, I want you to know that you're seen. We all want to be seen.
As I understand, you also did visit the set actually in Italy. And how did this experience help you to develop your song and create it?
I soaked in. Bonnie Greenberg, who is the music supervisor on the movie, and we worked together on when I wrote the song for Lady Gaga, "Til It Happens to You," and a couple of years ago with "I'll Fight" from RBG. Both of those Bonnie and I worked on together. And this is the third movie we've done that's been nominated. And both of us went out to Bari, Italy. She goes, "Let's go out there and let's go to the scene. Let's, hang out." I go, "Yeah, okay, let's go to Italy, like what's wrong with that?" And Italy's such a beautiful country, and so we got on a plane. We went out there, and it's just so beautiful there. It's like this gorgeous town, and so we spent the day on the set, and it was a really emotional scene that day as well, and just soaking in that, the energy from the set and this from the city, and just kind of feeling it. I don't know, it kind of seeped into the song, and I think the song I ended up writing, even musically, feels more European, than some of my other songs. There's something about that melody. It just feels like just a classic,
Inspiration is very important, either through the script or the visuals of the movie or the actor's performance, and also the set experience. And how would you verbalize the process of finding the essence of this particular song and reflecting the diverse characters?
I mean, when I tend to write songs for movies, I want to get to what the emotional core and the emotional heart is of the movie, and I think that lyric is of being seen. I want you to know that you're seen. It just says it, without being so on the nose. It just says what's going on, within that movie and with those characters. And in fact, when it was after the Italian lyrics were written, Eduardo Ponti, the director, actually changed the ending of the movie. There was dialogue, and he took the dialogue out and made, my song the dialogue, at the end of that movie. And then aside from that, how perfect it works in the movie, outside of the movie with what's going on in the world and so many people feeling that they're not seen, and then you had COVID where people literally weren't seen because everybody was locked in their houses or apartments or, so that song took on, I think, an added, importance or meaning.
Use your words, language is the greatest weapon, is a quote from the film. The same could also be said about music and lyrics. These are essential, ingredients in any movie. Please talk to me a bit about the choice of lyrics, actually, and the actual arrangement of the song. How did everything come together, and the collaboration with Laura?
Well, I wrote the song Scene. I wrote that song myself, words and music. And, I just wrote the song that I got inspired to write for the movie. And then Laura, we realized the song had to be in Italian to fit the movie, because a song in English at the end of an Italian movie wouldn't really work. So, Laura, worked on I don't speak Italian, so I didn't even, as soon as I heard it, I loved it because she's such a great singer, and Italian's such a beautiful language. Yes. And the basic, the translation is basically, my song. My song is, I want you to know that you're seen, in her version, it's, when nobody sees you, I will, and of course there's different lyrics because nothing is exact in another language, but it's the same basic concept. And Greg Wells, is an amazing producer who produced the song. He did a beautiful job. David Campbell, genius string arranger, worked on it. And, she sang it from her studio in Italy while Greg was in LA. There was a lot of that during COVID.
Did COVID in any way affect the recording of the song? Did you encounter any specific challenges there?
No, because I think COVID or no COVID, I think they would have probably had to record that way, because she does live in Italy and Greg lives in LA. So no matter what, they would have had to do it, virtually like that. And it worked out fine.
Yeah, I bet. And what do you think are Laura's special qualities? How would you describe her as a singer, as a vocalist?
Well, her instrument, her voice is spectacular. She's one of the best singers in the world. And it's not just about hitting the notes, which she can do. You can learn how to do that. She can hit the notes. She is a great, great vocalist. What you can't learn is how to make people believe you. And she has that ability, like a great actress. She has like what Sofia Loren has. You see Sofia Loren acting, you don't think she's reading lines, right? You believe her. The same thing with Laura. You believe her. When she sings that song, like I know people that don't speak Italian and see the movie and they're sobbing because they're feeling what she's singing even without knowing the language. It's coming through even in another language they don't understand because they understand the emotion.
That's also a point, or a good point actually, Diane, because language of the lyrics is not essential per se. The emotion is.
Yeah, it's all about emotion. It's all about, the lyrics, they have to be able to be sung. They have to be great lyrics, but you have to interpret something. You have to make people believe it. Again, like a great actress.
Yes, and that's the power of music. And when I watched the film again just a couple of days ago, and when the song hits and it basically closes the movie, that was a very powerful statement because it basically, you feel like it sums up the whole film experience, and you basically underlined the emotion and reflected the characters beautifully.
Thank you. Thank you. And at the end, you know, how, again, Eduardo, when he heard it, he goes, I want this song to be, you know, I want this to be what Madame Rosa is leaving with Momo after she passes away. So again, that became part of the movie. It wasn't just an end credit song. But also when I first wrote the song, I wasn't just thinking of it as Madame Rosa or Momo. I was thinking that's Momo to Madame Rosa. That's to Lola, the transgender. She's amazing too. That's another person the world doesn't see, you know. But how they all see each other, you know, and so to me it was all those characters almost, you know, speaking to each other, you know. But I love the fact how Eduardo, you know, made it turn into Madame Rosa's, you know, parting message to Momo that she sees him.
Yes,
You know?
yes. And even though the characters are not necessarily seen by the outside world, yet they have each other and they start to develop this relationship, which starts to be really touching, you know, and you feel that Momo starts to care about Madame Rosa, you know, especially in the scene when she's completely catatonic.
Oh, yeah, God, that was such a heartbreaking scene. Yeah, through seeing each other, you know, I always say, like, it's if you see through your heart, you know, that's how you see. So it doesn't matter what the world thinks. It doesn't matter what the world sees. They see each other. They've created, through love, through understanding, they've created a family. They've created, you know, they're seen by who needs to see them.
Diane, if I am informed correctly, the song almost didn't make it into the final film. What went on there?
Well, I think it was because it was in English. It wasn't exactly, and then, but, you know, Eduardo, you know, he loved the song. He worked a lot with Laura, you know, on it to make it really fit. And then, you know, and then he had to be sure. I know Eduardo told me, and I didn't even know this, but until he saw the song in the movie with Laura, he wasn't even sure. Like, he had to see the movie from the very beginning, you know, to make sure it worked. And thank God it did. You know. So it's exciting, and I've never had a song in a movie in a foreign language before, and also an Italian song has never won. A foreign language song has never won a Golden Globe, and an Italian song has never been nominated for an Academy Award. So
Yes, and that's a huge honor, and that's also a huge plus, I think, for the ceremony.
yeah, I think it is. It's different, you know. It's really different. You know, Laura recorded it in 5 languages. She recorded it there's a version in Italian and English, which is great, you know, where you hear the choruses in English. And then she sang fully in English. She sang it in Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Italian and English.
Do you usually have a backup plan? I mean, you have worked on so many songs and so many movies, and when chances are a director or a filmmaker says, well, it's a good song, I love it, but it's not quite what I've been looking for. Do you have, let's say, version B and C?
I never have version B and C, you know. I mean, yeah, I usually get really inspired to write the song I write, you know, and if that works. I mean, they work a lot more than they don't work.
That's, you know, speaks volumes. You know, you are a terrific songwriter and very creative, and I've, you know, been following your career for so many years. All of the songs you've written for movies are really, really touching. Is there any song which you wrote for a movie which you feel should have definitely been nominated, which ultimately wasn't, if I may ask?
There was one that I was kind of surprised, which was a song I wrote for Cher called "You Haven't Seen the Last of Me."
Yes.
From Burlesque, and that ended up winning the Golden Globe and didn't get nominated. And I know a lot of people were surprised at that, including me. And Cher was so mad. I remember, like, she was going off about it on Twitter, you know. But I think, that was kind of odd. So yeah, that's one that I was surprised at. There's been, you know, look, I'm so grateful. That was the name of one of my songs got nominated, by the way. Um, I'm always grateful. Just when I get nominated, I can't complain at all. This is you know number 12. It's 4 years in a row that I've been nominated, and if you look at the people, in the music branch of the Academy, they're the best composers, best songwriters, the best of the best. So the fact that they choose my songs it's in itself an amazing honor. So I'm good.
Diane, of course, we are living in a time when most of us don't feel really comfortable and free. And how do you manage to, let's say, break through that and leave that behind, if you will, in order to really express yourself and still be creative?
Well, I mean, my life is the same. I sit alone in my room, so the pandemic hasn't changed my life. It just, I don't have everybody in my office, which is a really good thing. So yeah, it's been great. I feel bad for a lot of people that are having a hard time. I know a lot of friends of mine, people like that, or people I know, and it's been okay for me, if I'm being really honest, because I come to work, I do what I normally do. I miss seeing my friends, going out to dinner, but there's ways you can do that. Just be safe about it.
And Diane, if you were to revisit the film, which part of the film or which scene do you find most emotional and also, let's say, most inspiring in terms of your work as well?
I mean, I think, God, there's so many moments in that movie. You mentioned one when Madame Rosa was in a catatonic state, and and you see her when she reached, they had their hands on each other. I think it was, I can't remember if Madame Rosa put her hand on Momo or Momo. I think Momo squeezed her hand.
Yes.
And that's like where you just, the tears just come, because, here's this, this hardened kid, but he's not really that. He's really a sweet kid that just needed, someone to see him, for want of a better word.
Yes, and he actually is also, how do I put this, a kid that needs some guidance, if you will. And of course, he's a young little kid, and the film is called The Life Ahead, which it's not called that for nothing. So he does have his whole life ahead of him still. So he doesn't have the experience yet, needless to say, in terms of, decision-making abilities and so on and so forth. So, but the film, let's say, or Madame Rosa, of course, tries to help him achieve just that.
Right. And she's, she's tough on him too,
Yes, I mean, he's also a little rough on her at times.
They're thrown together. They don't really want to be, in the same vicinity,
Yes, it kind of for Momo, it feels like a take it or leave it kind of scenario at the beginning.
That's the beauty, is how the story unfolds and how the relationship unfolds, and it's just beautiful. It's such a beautiful movie. And Sofia Loren at the top of her game at 86 years old. So I was hoping she would have been nominated, as well. I think she's won 2 Oscars. She should have 10 more. She's so great.
Yeah.
And she's so good in this movie,
Yes, very good performance also by Sofia Loren and by the other actors and actresses as well.
Yeah, and I was going to say, the kid that plays Momo, Ibrahim, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. He'd never acted a day in his life. I think they went through hundreds of actors to try to find who was going to play, Momo's part. And they found him somewhere, and he'd never acted a minute in his life, a second in his life. And they he went up against Sofia Loren and was genius, really, so brilliant. And what he has, you can't learn what he has in his eyes, just the look in his eyes that just conveys so much. You can't learn that in acting school. You can't teach it, really. That kid has it. So, I really hope with all my heart that, through this, that he gets the right guidance and like a great agent or manager, and because that kid has a huge future.
Yes, he does seem like a natural, and
it's like a little Sidney Poitier or something.
Yes.
You just can't learn that. He just gets you. You just look at him. You just.
Yeah, it's based on talent and also instinct.
Yeah, yeah, it's you got it or you don't. It's that it thing, right? It's that thing.
Diane, is there anything else you would like to add about the movie, about your song, about your career, anything in general, anything that comes to mind?
I think we're good. Cross your fingers for me on April 25th. Really, I'm very proud of the song. And yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good, Michael.
I do have one more question, actually, if we still have a couple of minutes. There is a new project or new CD coming up. It's called Diane Warren, The Cave Sessions Volume 1.
Yeah, I already have volume 2 and 3, and so I have to kind of. I have so many songs. I got to like narrow it down to what's going to fit on the album. But I've got great songs. I'm doing what a DJ does. I'm doing what David Guetta or DJ Khaled or Mark Ronson does, which is like basically curating an album of my songs. I'm not a producer, but I've written all of them. And we have John Legend, we have Luis Fonsi, Celine Dion, Paloma Faith. James Arthur, Santana, G-Eazy, Ty Dolla $ign. We have some really, really good people on, and it's all over the place.
It's going to be released this summer, right?
Yeah, probably July-ish. We're just trying to get everything done. It takes a while just to get things mixed, and some people want to sing their parts again, and.
Looking forward to it. And what else is actually next for you, if I may ask?
There's a bunch of movies. There's lots of songs I'm writing for people. Yeah, just lots of stuff. Lots of exciting stuff. You'll hear.
Great. Looking forward to it. Diane, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I really appreciate that. I had a great time talking to you again, and I hope you enjoyed the conversation as well.
It's always good to talk to you, Michael. We'll talk soon.
I certainly hope so. Thanks again, and I will keep my fingers crossed. And stay safe, stay healthy, and you have a nice day.
All right, and you too, all that. Good to see you.